Hello again. Just read an interesting article on CNN. There's a video clip that goes along with it. You might want to take some time to listen to what they have to say. And this is in regard to what took place in San Bernardino, California. And when you read through the report or the document, you'll see a pattern developing. And what the pattern that I see developing, because I enjoy looking for the pieces of the puzzle, they usually paint a rather specific picture. The administration, the FBI, their leaning is towards domestic terrorism, and they're ignoring all the facts. They're ignoring the fact that Tashin Malik lived in Saudi Arabia, coming from Pakistan. At the age of 19, she went to Saudi Arabia. It's reported that her father is living a very comfortable lifestyle in Saudi Arabia. And that usually happens when one of the children martyr themselves. The rest of the family is looked after financially. There's no doubt that Tashin Malik martyred herself along with Saeed Farouk. They're ignoring all the facts. They're ignoring that Saeed traveled to Mecca. They're ignoring the facts that they had over $30,000 worth of weaponry that they couldn't afford on their own salary. They're ignoring the facts that they were trained to do what they did. They're ignoring all the facts to paint this as to what the administration wants it to appear to be. Workplace violence. I mean, after all, he did leave the Christmas party. Came back 20 minutes later, dressed in full battle gear, armed with a AR-15, armed with a 9mm, as was his charming wife. You know, like the lawyer said, she's just a mother. She's passive. What I got out of it again is she doesn't drive. So if she doesn't drive, how can the FBI not realize that he drove? And she was waiting in the car. And he play-rolled in that Christmas party. He became angry for whatever reason. That was done intentionally. He went downstairs, put on his battle gear, came up with his charming housewife, and slaughtered innocent people that he worked with for many years. They're going to portray this as workplace violence. It isn't workplace violence. You know it's not workplace violence. I know it's not workplace violence. They know it's not workplace violence. But there's no way that this will ever be referred to as having been an Islamic extremist terrorist attack. It won't happen. And because it won't happen, well, there's other reasons too that I think the FBI is complicit. If they weren't complicit, Hillary Rodham Clinton would have been arrested a long time ago. The whole thing is totally insane. It's so obvious that these two mentally degenerated, probably inbred Muslims were radicalized. It isn't a domestic terrorist situation, nor was Fort Hood with Major Nadal Hassan. But that's what this twisted criminal administration deemed it to be. And that's what the San Bernardino event will be deemed as well. A domestic terrorist incident. But how are they going to explain the $30,000 worth of weaponry? How are they going to explain why were the cell phones smashed? How are they going to explain why were the hard drives smashed? The only reason they were smashed is to try to eliminate a digital trail back to their handlers. In all probability, back to Saudi Arabia. It always comes back to Saudi Arabia. 9/11, any event where there's been horrific slaughter and terror, it always comes back to Saudi Arabia. The oil money that they receive finances terror all over the world. Another reason Obama doesn't want the Keystone Pipeline. He wants American money to keep funding the terrorism throughout the world by buying Saudi oil. You're entitled to your own opinion. We'll see who's right and we'll see who's wrong. If they ever call this thing anything other than domestic terrorism, I'll be proven to be wrong. But I don't believe that'll happen. Do you?